Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today we're going to speak about alms, and basically in Arabic we would call it zakah. Zakah, alms giving, obligatory alms giving. As for zakah, as for alms giving which is recommended, then that's called sadaqah. Sadaqah is recommended alms giving, and zakah is obligatory alms giving. Barakallahu fikum. So let's start with gold and silver. Obligatory alms giving is for gold and silver is only for gold and silver. So this means we do not include rubies, we do not include sapphire, emeralds, we don't include copper, iron, whatever. Only gold and silver. Clear? Barakallahu fikum. Next, if we're giving obligatory alms giving for gold and silver, the quorum is around 85 grams. For silver, it's around 595 grams. So if you have 85 grams of gold, you will have to only give 2.5%. That's it. If you have lesser than 85, then you don't have to give anything. And you give to the poor, right? So as for, this means there is around 1/10 of 1/4 of gold which is given. And as for silver, same. It's actually 500. It's the same thing. Same thing, right? Okay. Then if we're giving obligatory alms for gold, this means we only calculate the amount given for pure gold. So let's say if you have an 18 karat gold ring, you will only calculate 75% of the material. We do not give any consideration to the other material mixed into with the gold to produce that product, ring, necklace, etc., whatever. Also, we do not pay obligatory alms for things that are used as jewelry lawfully or moderately. So if a woman wears a golden necklace, she does not have to pay obligatory alms for that necklace because she's wearing it. It's being used. So there is no obligatory alms for anything that is worn. However, if it is excessive, more than the cultural usage, then she will have to give obligatory alms, like if she was to wear 10 necklaces on her neck. So that is excessive. Therefore, we do give consideration in that situation. Understood? Also, we have some other that I'd like to mention. I've listed it in this piece of paper. If the quorum falls, if the amount falls lesser than the quorum, then the person will not have to give alms, as mentioned earlier. However, if it resumes, he does not have to continue, because when we give alms, we have to own the material for more than 1 year. We have to own an amount above the quorum for more than 1 year, and then only after 1 lunar year the alms becomes obligatory. However, if the amount falls lesser than the quorum in 6 months, not 1 year, then it returns to the actual amount which was above the quorum. The person will not continue with that period. The period will restart. He will have to wait for another year. Also, we have to pay obligatory alms for crops. So if someone's growing crops, he'll have to pay obligatory alms, zakah. And the quorum for that is around 610 kgs. And when I say crops, this means fruits and grain. So if the fruits are, for example, oranges, etc., or bananas, or tomatoes, since the tomato is botanically a fruit, then the person will not have to pay zakah on such fruits. The only fruits that this individual will have to pay alms for would be grapes and dates. Now, banana is a type of a berry, so I think you'll have to check with the scholars regarding that. I will in the future. As for grain, then we only mean staple grain. So this includes rice, wheat, etc. However, the quorum becomes double the normal amount. So let's say the quorum for fruits would be 610. However, if we talk about grain, then the quorum will be double that, which is around 1,220. Not 610, 1,220. With a condition that such staple grain is stored in a kennel. If that grain is not stored in a kennel, then the quorum remains 610 kg. When we speak about grain, we are not talking about the chaff, we are not talking about the husk. The only thing calculated is the grain itself. This includes the fruits. And when we talk about the amount, we mean the dried amount, not the amount which is fresh. Only after the fruits and the vegetables and the grain is dried, only then we calculate the amount. Otherwise, we do not. If the grain or fruit is grown by man-made irrigation, by human irrigation, then the individual will only have to pay 5% of the amount as alms. 5% of the amount. However, if the irrigation was natural, then he will have to pay around 10%. And that's it. Alright, so I'm gonna just now record this in the meantime and speak about alms, obligatory alms for livestock. And when I speak about livestock, right, what I mean by livestock are camels, cattle, sheep, and goats. Like I said, no chickens, no ducks here. And I'm talking about livestock, which is livestock that is free from ownership and free from partnership and ownership. Livestock which is free from partnership and ownership. So if a man owns 5 camels, man or woman, then he'll have to give 1 yearling of a sheep or 2 two-year-old goats. Clear? And if he owns 10, he'll have to give 2 of that type. If he owns 15 camels, he'll have to give 3 of that type. If he owns 20 camels, he'll have to give 4 of that type. Alright, so right now I'm going to do a bit of math. If the person owns 25 camels, then he'll have to give 1 bint maqad, which is a female 1-year-old she camel. Well, she camels are already female. Or he can give a male, which is a 2-year-old in its place, if he does not have that 1-year-old female. However, if he has around 36, then he'll have to give a 2-year-old female. If he has around 46, then he'll have to give a 3-year-old female camel. If he has around 61, then he'll have to give around 4-year-old female camel. If he has 76, then he'll have to give 2-year-old female camels. If he has around 91, he'll have to give 3-year-old female camels. If he has 121, he'll have to give around 3 2-year-old female camels. If he has around 40, then he'll have to give, for every 40 after 121, for every 40 he'll have to give another female which is 2 years old, and for every 50 he'll give another female which is 3 years old. As for cows, then if he has 30, then he'll have to give a 2-year-old tabi'a female cow. Tabi'a means a 2-year-old female cow. I'm not sure if males are also called that, but males are not accepted. As for every 40, if he has 40 cows, then he'll have to give a musinna or a thaniya, which is a 3-year-old female cow over here. And if for every 30, he'll have to give a tabi'a, and for every 40, he'll have to give a musinna or a thaniya. And if he has 40 sheep, then he'll have to give a jad'a, which is a 4-year-old sheep. And if he has 120, then he'll have to give 2 of that. If he has 200, he'll have to give 3 of that. And for every 100, he'll have to give another one. There you go. So the quorum differs, yeah. As for the one who does not have a camel, yeah, which is healthy, yeah, then he will have to give in its place 2 sheep, or he'll have to take 2 sheep. It depends. If the camel which is required is of higher quality and he only has a lower quality camel, he may give a lower quality camel with 2 sheep or 20 silver dirhams, 20 silvers basically. And if he has only a camel of higher quality, then he may give the camel of higher quality and take 20 silvers or 2 sheep, 2 yearlings, or 2 2-year-old goats instead. Clear? And these animals, right, which alms giving is obligatory upon, they have to be free grazing, regardless of whose land is it. The land of the one who should give the alms, or the land of someone else who allows him to graze his animals there. And also they shouldn't be work animals. So this means no bulls that plow, etc. Lastly, we have alms for goods, which are obligatory. Specific alms which are obligatory for goods. And when I say goods, I mean goods that are used for trading. Goods where one intends to buy or sell and make a profit. So 2.5% of market value is sold regardless of My bad. 2.5% market value is paid regardless of the fluctuation of the goods and prices throughout the year. No alms on goods until one intends to trade them for profit, and no alms if he stops intending so. If he repeats his intention, the period repeats. If all goods, not partially, are liquidated for lesser than the quorum, the period halts. If he liquidates them, the period restarts. Trade assets like grazing, livestock, fruits only necessitate the type of alms restricted to their respective types, unless below their respective quorums, and above the quorum of alms for trade. No alms for treasures hidden before Islamic dominance of its location. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.